They're just kind of hoping it. It'll go close, which it could. But I have to agree with the desk. I think EnVy are the top team in North America at the moment. You know, one loss in the grid is nothing to worry about. They're here to win this thing.
Here we go, Turbo. Well, that was a very turbo goal if we've ever seen one. No real work needed, it had already been done. Moving up to this point, Com gets dunked on by Atomic.
Wow. Yeah, and you know, you say it's a turbo goal. I would agree in part. You know, yeah, Turbo's scored an easy goal there, but he didn't miss the ball. He didn't miss a flick on the way in. He didn't own goal, so there are definitely goals that would be more turbo than that one. Yeah, that was a 0.7 on the turbo goal scale, I would say.
Like a Richter scale. We don't quite know how that one's calibrated. It's going to be over to Com to try and maybe make up for it here. Drops down pretty well, but the second touch off the backboard. Was a very, very good job for Team EnVy, keeping away from their own goal area. Although we do see V1 slowly trying to pry away those defensive markers.
Oh,
this is
not that fun.
This is just a very hard team to break down. If you give away the lead to Team EnVy, you can have a tough time getting it back.
Yeah, Team EnVy are consistent. That is really how I would describe them.
Oh, just as I say that, yeah, double commit and double miss. Why have you done that?
Well, okay, I'll rephrase.
I don't believe in this caster curse stuff, but that's going to start turning it around for me.
I'll rephrase. They're supposed to be consistent. EnVy are supposed to be consistent. Like, that's not supposed to happen, you know. It's cold out here. We're on Manfield, snowy. The fingers aren't warmed up yet. I'm sure that's going to be fine later on. Maybe EnVy needs to just put some gloves on, and the double whiffs aren't going to be happening.
That's what these orgs need to start sending out for this season. Get the hand warmers sent over to people. Turbo looks to try and get this miss. Com does a good job trying to follow it. This is a big series here. This is a big tournament now for V1. They didn't have the greatest start to this season. So that is going to be just a little bit too high. Com takes it away from Atomic. Miss will just try and keep the pressure going. He's done a good job of it. Up to Atomic now to hold the midfield. That's something he will do. Flip reset! He catches it off the post! Watch in awe of what Atomic can accomplish.
Wow. How on earth did Atomic get back to this one? He was a little bit ahead of the ball, had to use all of his boost just to slow down, let the ball catch up to him. But that reset was so perfect. He managed to flick the ball towards the top corner much faster than the V1 defense were expecting, and the follow-through with the dunk is just perfect. It is deserved, to be honest, because that was outrageous to be able to put that one near the goal.
So, we don't know what to make of Team EnVy. I think that's the line I'm going for here. They conceded the goal that they conceded, and then Atomic goes and does that. And he was, you know, very largely part of the first goal for them, but Com! Lad! You gotta at least leave something afterwards.
Oh, that's just brilliant by Gimmick. So Turbo's called that. He says that he's going to challenge Com's air dribble. He's on the back wall. Gimmick snipes him, and then suddenly Turbo is out of the game, and EnVy don't have anybody challenging the shot. So perfect play there by Gimmick, opening up the aerial path for Com. We've actually just seen another miss by Atomic in defense. It's not the first time this game that's happened for EnVy. This is strange. So, you know, seeing EnVy make any kind of mistakes in defense is unusual. I'm just wondering if perhaps I've got a bad matchup here against V1. Are they nervous coming into this? Because they should be pretty confident. And you know, the egos in this team are top tier. And I say that in a good way. You know, you need to have an ego if you're at the top of Rocket League. Everybody's at the climbing up, trying to knock you off that ladder. But yeah, so far not looking confident. The V1 offense hasn't really been phenomenal, but they are doing enough to disrupt EnVy.
Yeah, right now, V1 having a great time over on the offensive side of the field. Still need to get themselves one more, though. And even off the mistakes, but Atomic powers the ball. It's in off the post. All right, well, those of you at home, have good fun trying to rate Atomic's performance here. It's been one of the more curious ones in recent time, but I'll give him a B+.
That was a really good pass by Turbo. The third man for V1 was expecting Turbo to clear that somewhere into the middle of the field. They were moving up for the interception. Turbo's gone for the defensive pass, and that's completely caught V1 off guard. Now V1 responding, and they will get the equalizer again. Com powers it through, and that was just too good for Torment, beating two EnVy players to the punch. Once again, EnVy's defense crumbles.
Both players thought they could get to it. Neither player seemed to recognize that one, they couldn't, and two, that the wall was there. Easy way past, and we're back to 3 each. One of the more chaotic game ones we have had to start off the broadcast. Mist looks for the double tap, and he almost got it set up as well. Turbo turns around, adamant for a challenge. Nobody coming in, though, for it from V1. Instead, they wait for their opportunity. Atomic be quite happy just to catch that one off the wall, guide its way away. Not able to do so, though, and you just get that feeling that the next catastrophe for either team could come from absolutely anywhere. Turbo off the backboard. No one really wants to follow up just yet. Comms clear isn't fantastic. It's a good set over for Turbo, who misses it! Gets it on the second one! Johnny, higher or lower on the Turbo scale?
Yeah, that's an 8. I would give it. That's an 8 for the Turbo goal. What a read by Turbo! Well, that's not really a read. You know, he's just in the right place at the right time, really. Still, though, the placement was enough to get past the last man for V1, and that's just the story of this game for Turbo Pulse and for EnVy's offense. They've been too good. They've been breaking down the V1 defense consistently. Unfortunately for them, they've also had some very poor defensive work, allowing V1 through. And again, this is a chance for V1 on the counterattack. Atomic is briefly alone in the back here. Nice fake challenge. That'll buy his team a lot of time.
Be very interested to see whether or not this is going to be a consistent thing here for EnVy, or if this was the one chance to get them on the back foot whilst they were still looking a bit rough and shaky. But for now, it's up to V1 to give themselves one more chance. Looking for the backboard. Mist always going to have that covered. And he does get the second block. That's going to be game one, Team EnVy. And will V1 rue missed chances in this game to try and take it?
It's a really weird one for V1. They had some opportunities, but realistically, I don't think they should have expected to even score 3 goals. If you look back at this game and you see the positions that V1 are scoring from, they had that one really good goal where Gimmick demoed Turbo on the back wall while Com was air dribbling in for a dunk on the goalkeeper. But apart from that, EnVy's defense was simply not good enough in this game. However, the offensive power for EnVy is definitely there. Some very, very tough goals to stop coming into V1's net, and this is I think a messy performance for Team EnVy, but they look good enough to probably sweep this, I would say, because I wouldn't expect their defense to be this
we shouldn't do that again.
Bad. Yeah, they were double committing all over the place. So as long as they open their mouths and communicate their plans in this game here, yeah, it's going to be a struggle for V1. We knew it would be, but yeah, it's very hard to stop EnVy when they're playing this well in offense.
So according to Johnny, Team EnVy's way to victory here is a simple 2-word phrase: I got. And if they can do that,
that's it.
Then they should go on to take this whole thing. As for V1, offensively, they took what they could get. Defensively, they'll be a little upset letting in 4 goals. As here's Com!
Oh!
Nothing to do with Team EnVy making a mistake that time. That is pure power and precision.
Well, yeah, you got to give credit to V1 there. Cracking pass from Gimmick, and Com snipes the bottom corner, leaving nothing up to chance. But Atomic did advance in a position that was kind of weird there. He just drove forward to pressure the ball when he really didn't need to. There was no danger of a shot. He could have covered the pass a little bit better. EnVy aren't really showing enough respect to V1, in my opinion. They've got to calm down here. They've got to just cover the back post passes, because V1 are a very dangerous team. They're a team on the rise recently. They're definitely playing some of the best Rocket League they've played in RLCS Season X. And EnVy have not acted accordingly.
Certainly not. V1 gaining a lot of their points in this second split. Currently coming in at 200. Last split only gaining 120 throughout the entirety of it. That is also not taking into account their chances to gain even more points from the major. Minimum of 200 points for being involved in that. That is going to be terribly needed. They are so far away right now from those World Championship spots as here comes Torment and just dips it under the crossbar.
That's beautiful. Gimmick with a very nice touch to the corner. Com hits it up perfectly to the backboard for Torment, and I was expecting a double touch from Torment here, but that is a confident finish into the top shelf of the goal. Beautiful team play by V1. Everybody aggressive. Everybody just attacking the ball as early as possible, trusting those rotations to come through. That is, really great to see. It's, with a 1-goal lead, a lot of teams against EnVy will just sit back and try and hold on. But V1 aren't joining that list of teams, it seems.
Yeah, very direct performance so far from V1. Com fakes out Turbo. He will at least stick around, try and give his team one more opportunity. This time, Atomic not caught too far forward, and that was crucial. Let him get the setup, and he's got it! Pass over to Mist, handed off in midair, and that lead is cut in half.
It was a bit awkward there by Com in the back corner. He didn't get a challenge on the first passing play, or the first passing touch. He didn't get a challenge on the shot. And you can't really blame the V1 goalkeeper there. He needed a bit of help. He needed somebody to pressure the ball there, get goal side of it. You can't allow shots to come in uncontested from that range. It's just far too hard to read, especially with EnVy having 2 players so close to the ball. And you know how often they've double committed today. You just have no idea who's going for that, who's going to actually follow through with the touch. EnVy will find another way through, but V1's earlier work still keeps him in front for now. Turbo going to try and rectify that. Mist is now at the back post. He can't really get around this to shoot it. EnVy all queuing up at the side of the field that the ball was already on. Meant that the attack wasn't able to continue when the ball naturally cleared itself.
Gimmick able to cause just a little bit more hassle. Com with a setup. Torment just keeping that pressure going. And Com's name will be one that we'll be looking out for here. A lot of the goals that we have seen V1 concede, the analysis have typically started off with the name Com, and not really for the best of reasons. Turbo over to the aforementioned player. Torment still bumping Mist. It's off the crossbar. Gimmick's very close. Gonna have a rough time trying to set that one up for a teammate. But I tell you what, Torment has got his shooting glasses on today. My goodness, that is another powerful shot that is somehow palmed away.
Yeah, and even before then, Com had such a good setup. He got the perfect first touch for his dribble. Just hit the bar when he had the free shot, uncontested. Very easily could be 3-1 at the moment. V1's attack is definitely capable of getting through EnVy's defense today. And this is a better defensive performance for EnVy than it was in game number 1. V1 have stepped up. They've really improved here. Looking to score 3 past EnVy 2 games in a row, but this time EnVy haven't had the same kind of unpredictability in offense. That's the chance. Gimmick saves it, and now it's into the backboard. And Mist is going to follow up, and he places it perfectly. Bottom corner, EnVy have equalized.
Turbo. That was angry Turbo. 1 demo, 2 demos, and then 1 final explosion for the road. Mist not really having to deal with too much on the goal line, but still made sure it was going in. And right now, despite this being the best performance we've had from Version 1, they are beginning to struggle with this, and it's a very physical playstyle that's doing it to them. Cannot afford to get locked down on their own back line. Mist will take control. Torment keeps the ball away, avoids one of his own teammates on the bump. This is the most momentum on Torment's car I've ever seen. He is keeping up pace very well this entire time. He's not letting himself, slam on the brakes, force himself to sit around an awful lot. That's going to just skirt around the face of the goal. 1 minute left. Version 1 will look to try and pick back up what they feel should be theirs. That is a Game 2 victory. Will he try and just tap it down to himself? Yes, he has. Forces in another player to challenge him. Takes out Atomic and almost turned in. Somehow EnVy keep it out and now move to the other side of the field.
Yeah, it's definitely not been just a one-man show here. Com has been carrying V1 recently, but that's not happening today. Gimmick stepping in with a huge save, keeping EnVy away from scoring for now. EnVy are on a bit of a streak here. More bumping on the goal line. This time no third man for EnVy to score while the defenders were kept away from the ball. But the pressure is on. Turbo centers. He's going to look for Gimmick on the line. Gimmick again with a huge save. Torment gets goal side of the next shot as well. EnVy are just absolutely pelting the ball at the V1 goal. Can V1 hold on? This is still EnVy coming forward. A good position for the Mist is in the middle. Com's going to block his shot. That was good waiting in the middle for that to come across. Gimmick reads the next infield pass. Well played, V1. That was a really tough one to hold on to, but they've done it. Overtime game 2.
And they consistently had EnVy players right next to them threatening another bump. They held their cool that entire time. Can they now convert that? You can see Atomic up on the backboard. He's not going to see any of that ball. Torment past one. Turbo's going to take a while to get back now, so it leaves Torment to flick. Mist covers the floor. Atomic covers the backboard. First time we've seen the blue side of the field in quite a while. Now we see the orange. Will we see an blue goal? Torment with yet another big block. He's now one-on-one against Mist. That could be a 2v1. Instead, he is wiped away. But Gimmick's going to take his chance. Calm now, coming in from the rough angle. He's always going to struggle to score from there. Torment's going to take his chance. And it is finally cleared by Team EnVy off the block.
Yeah, dribbling plays coming in clutch for V1 multiple times in this game. That's, you know, the calm influence I've seen coming through here. The control for V1 is improving. Torment and Gimmick really individually looking at their best again. But here comes Atomic. He had a wonder goal in game 1. Torment's going to deny him one in game 2 for now. Now this is a great chance for Com. Turbo chases him from behind. Shuts down the shot before it can get started. That's some really good pressure from the far side of the ball. Turbo Pulsa. He's helping out his goalkeeper indirectly there.
Now Atomic, he's going to be left as the last one. Off the backboard, here's Torment. That's a soft shot. And by the standards that he has set this game, that is one that will disappoint him. Turbo, good flick. Just gets the save from Com, can steal himself a bit of boost, stay on top. Just try and wipe away some of those defenders off each challenge. Now Com, off the backboard. Both teams getting their chances here. Who's going to get the best one?
And both teams have improved defensively, but here comes Mist. Double touch to the top corner, and he rebounds it in himself. Mist does it all for EnVy.
That is how you secure a hat trick. 3 goals for Mist, and they were all crucial in taking what was a splendid game of Rocket League. Team EnVy take it. 3 match points to them. And for Version1 fans out there, this has got to be a mixed bag in terms of how they've got to feel about this. Because yes, this is some of the better performances we have seen from them. But no, they're not getting the games to go along with them.
Yeah, it's a tough one. EnVy really stepped up here. Down 2 goals. They didn't make any defensive mistakes towards the end of this game. Well, at least none to the same caliber of the first game in this series. And that prevented V1 from adding that 3rd goal, which would have probably ended this game. They got 3 in the first game, 2 here, and EnVy just beating them by 1 goal in both. It's been a very good offensive performance for EnVy. They've had great timing with their demo plays to set up shots that can't be stopped, and missed this game. My goodness, what a solo effort this was. And it was Atomic in game 1, Mist in game 2. These are the 2 players so far who have been mechanically superior to Version1. Will this be Turbo Pulse's turn to step up? I wonder what kind of goal he's going to be scoring to steal the spotlight in game 3.
Right now, he'd prefer not to. Instead, just leave shots like that one to Atomic. Yeah, that goal in the last one is why Mist has been such a lauded player. Oh, here's going to be Turbo. Decides to put it off the backboard. I think he was trying to set up Mist, but that was far too much angle.
I don't know. I think you're being kind to him. I reckon he was trying to score that, and he's just missed by miles because he did have a tough corner.
It's hard to read him, okay?
That's true.
He got so far under it, it feels like it is impossible for him not to have been.
Yeah, well, he did miss by such a great margin. You're thinking there's no way that was a shot because it's so far off target. But why would Turbo not shoot there? There's no way that anyone can save a top corner shot. So you got to just go for one. And you know the shooting has been pretty good for EnVy today. So even if they've been making mistakes. Oh, speaking of good shooting.
You want to see someone else?
Wow, Torment back at his best here. You mentioned it in game number 2 there. He had 1 shot from a similar kind of position that he hit far too softly. But look at that placement right between all 3 EnVy defenders and fast enough that they can react.
That's a tough part of the car to generate not only pace on it, but accuracy as well. Catching it at the bottom of the car and still able to beat all 3 goal line defenders for Team EnVy. not a claim that many players have managed to have this season. Come out, leaving it for Gimmick, and has that somehow managed to squeeze its way through? No, instead it's to Mist. Back to Atomic. I'm enjoying, though, what I've seen from Version1 here. Seems to be a lack of fear when it comes to sending players forward. Has got them caught a few times, but so far, it's a better look that might work even better against teams that aren't named EnVy. So he's going to drop down Turbo, making sure Com can't get the rebound. As for Team EnVy, this has got to be a complete shock to the system. This is not what we expected to see. They've still taken the game wins, but not as comfortably as we were expecting. Com and Gimmick just floating around in the corner, almost able to set up for Torment one more time, and that demo actually leaves the goal open for Mist, who will walk it in. We saw what he was capable of the last game. We know he's going to score that 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, Turbo again with a very timely demo, and that's what, you know, the downside of playing so aggressively with your entire squad. It has worked out for V1 at times, and I actually want to give them credit for playing with that kind of confidence. I think that the willingness to attack with all three players when you're actually winning is the kind of mentality that gets you to challenge the top teams in the region. Here they come again. Com denied by Turbo. That was close, though. V1 still pressuring with their entire squad. And yeah, they haven't got a game win against EnVy today, and EnVy who haven't looked that clean, but I think it's still a promising performance for V1. Torment and Gimmick are very much a part of this. Like I said earlier, it's not just been the Com show, like some of their big wins that this season have been since acquiring the new talent. And that's exactly what V1 need. The whole team to perform as well as we know they can.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's nothing out there to say that if V1 came in with a more defensive mindset that they'd suddenly magically be winning this.
No.
What we can do, though, is see that this playstyle has at least worked to an extent. Pass over. Torment was already backing down. Already been caught once from the third man demo. Definitely going to have the eye out for that now. It's Atomic keeping control of the midfield. Now Turbo looks at the backboard. Very risky there from Torment. Had to make sure he made contact or his team was going to be in big trouble. Now Gimmick wiped out. Booming clear. V1 trying to react to these demos, trying to make sure that that's not going to suddenly get them caught out as Atomic sees the opportunity to go whistling by him. Booming clear to Torment. Oh my goodness. Torment. What is happening today, lad? This has been a phenomenal offensive performance.
Yeah, that was great stuff by Torment. He knew that there was a chance the ball was going to come towards him or the ball was going to get cleared downfield. He's clearly yelling for that one. Just stick it in the EnVy app. I'll do the rest. And that is great stuff from Torment. Aggressive play, really looking good for him today. But also, V1 shutting down multiple infield passing plays from EnVy. They've read those brilliantly. They've stopped them from working. And now here comes a third goal potentially. Gimmick off target with it. EnVy being tested here. They've responded well to V1's pressure in both the games prior to this one. I'm sure they're going to do the same here.
I think the operation now is don't let Mist have the ball. Especially not with a chance to double it off the backboard. Nick goes far corner. Turbo's forced to just get rid. And here is Mist. Got Torment to deal with over in the corner. It's well dealt with. Both the players have been the standouts so far for their teams. Com slows it down. Dares Atomic to come in and try and chase him. Now Mist with Atomic up in support just underneath him, but he might try and go the whole way by himself. Instead, it's a backboard. EnVy will do what they did at the end of the last game. Lock down. Try and bump. You can already see Torment's been taken out. Need to recover just as the ball came sailing past him. Got 30 seconds left. Can Version1 go from almost to actually securing this?
Yeah, they just need to look out for those passing plays. EnVy are trying to connect the dots in the midfield. Turbo sends it to the far post. Atomic's there. He's going to put it back into the middle for Mist. But again, V1 are all over the infield passes. This is it now for Mist. He needs to go all the way himself. Oh, he's going to go all the way, but he got pull shotted into saving his own hit there. I believe that was on target until the defender knocked Mist into it and forced him to hit it too hard. And that is going to win V1 the game. My goodness. Mist did everything he had to do there. A little bit unfortunate for EnVy because it's quite rare that you get the exact combination in a challenge that we just saw to perfectly force Mist to save his own shot, which was on target beforehand.
Yeah, Mist had that perfect. I was on his camera POV. He had Torment beat. Torment was too far forward, got it past him, but Torment managed to at least just catch the car on its way through, and that's all you need. It'll rocket yourself back into that ball and take it away from where you originally want it to be. And it is a strategy we've seen employed more and more, especially in ones of, yeah, I can't take that away from you. I'm going to get you instead and let you ruin your own play. Yeah, you just... V1, that's got to feel so good. They've been so close 2 times now. Finally get one on the board.
Yeah, all competitive games, and that was actually a step up in quality from EnVy because they are defending, I would say, to a higher level with every passing game. The difference is that V1 were able to intercept several EnVy infield passing plays. And earlier on in the game, Atomic and Mist were just not connecting with them. They weren't on the same page. We saw a couple of times Mist and Atomic trying to receive each other's passes, and they just weren't making them happen. So it's up to EnVy to try and step up in quality again, because offensively they were terrifying in the first 2 games. Game 3, not so much.
And right now, it's coming up to Turbo to try and put together that first goal-scoring opportunity. Didn't quite pinch the way he was after. There's not any of that from Torment, is he? He is taking this one the whole way. Sets up Gimmick. Mist will at least be able to block. And Turbo with 2 players crowding around him. I'm still being a hassle here.
What do you reckon about this Dominus Turbo Pulse? I'm thinking, is that the hardest to read player in the game? Dominus Turbo? Can anyone read this guy?
I've seen Batmobile Turbo.
Oh, true, yeah. Yeah, Batmobile Turbo's legit. I don't know, Dominus is, it's weird. You'd feel like Dominus and Batmobile would bring the same kind of play out of players, but it's the complete opposite, actually, from what I've seen in Rocket League historically. Dominus
tends to be
brings out
the precision players, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah, it's all about those exact touches and trying to be so careful with your movement. And, then Dominus is just a flailing, it's just a beast. You know, it just comes flopping into positions and gets a touch on the ball that nobody can expect. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Turbo can do here.
Dominus is an ancient power that no one can control. We do see Turbo. Oh, straight to Atomic. Well, if anyone can control it, it's the 4-time.
Yeah, a bit too close there. Gimmick and Torment were both, trying to force Turbo's hands. You know, well played, Gimmick and Torment. You got Turbo to flick the ball, but since you were both making that play, nobody was backing up the other one. You know, one of them's got to do exactly what they both did there, force Turbo to flick it, and then the other's got to collect the ball when he does. But yeah, they were both trying to do the same job there. Nobody doing the backup man.
Calm almost managed to just sweep his car to the other side, get the block that he was needing to set it up. Torment, the only one back, made his life a lot easier by a bump, but his shot too weak, read by Turbo. And he's not going to steal it. That's a good guy, Turbo.
I do not believe my eyes.
Has he been tamed? EnVy, what have you done to him?
Turbo not stealing a goal? I don't know what they've done with Turbo Pulse, but this ain't him. I mean, it looks like they've cloned him or something. They've got a different variation that they can run in the Dominus now. Yeah, that is the least Turbo thing I've ever seen. Oh, now this is Dominus. So look at that pre-jump by Turbo. I'm loving it, to be honest. I think this is a combination that can really throw, a real loop at the other player. How can you read Dominus Turbo? You can't! He's insane! He's popping off!
There is an intimidating aura around Turbo Pulsar right now that none shall go near. Torment, as good as he's been, he knows better than to try and challenge that.
Wow, just when you thought Turbo Pulsar had peaked in his, EnVy career, he whips out the Dominus, and then V1 have no idea what to do. Turbo Pulsar again. He's at the center of everything. Turbo is a playmaker this game. He's scored the 3rd goal. You can't put a foot wrong here. All 4 wheels in the correct position once again. 4-0. Yeah, V1 are just clearly intimidated by what they're seeing across the other side of the field.
I think everybody's intimidated. For those of you watching at home, enjoy it while it lasts, because I think this is just a sneak peek, and then Turbo's going to put this away until the World Championship.
He could go even further. You know, he's got I think he's got the standard Dominus engine sound. We could, see in the future Motormouth Dominus Turbo. Like, that is a combination which I don't see anybody stopping. You know, they're going to be so tilted, they're going to lose
Oh,
focus.
man.
Oh my goodness, what's going on? Missed. Well, this makes him a 5th goal per V1 here.
Yeah.
They played reasonably well today, but EnVy are just too good, I would say. Is there a chance to come back? Perhaps. No, even that's off target. And it's going to be too little too late either way, I would imagine.
Yeah, 4 goals in it. It just happened out of nowhere, really. There's definitely been a lot of positives to come from this. Missed now on the backboard. Are we going to get a highlight reel? Oh, Gimmick denies it. This is just out there having fun right now, and they seem to be very aware that this 4-goal lead should be taking them through to the semi-finals of the upper bracket, where they will await either G2 Esports or Rogue. As for Version1, if things stay the same, and you would expect they would do, I believe it's the Peeps, which is not the most entertaining match of all time that you could get in the lower bracket.
It's
not what I would want to play.
No, that's
I'd take any of the other 3 teams.
Yeah, I think, you know, V1 have got a great chance against the Peeps. I think that I would put them as the favorites, actually, especially with the Peeps losing to Sonics in the upper bracket in this same tournament. But yeah, they're not the ideal draw there for V1. It's definitely a tough run facing the best team in NA, EnVy, in the upper bracket, who have just missed an open net here. Still leading by 4, though. You know, chances just galore for EnVy in this game. Yeah, Peeps are definitely, for me, one of the really scary teams in that lower bracket. Jamal Jabari as well. You know, they've got to be a dark horse in any tournament they play these days. But EnVy doing what they were supposed to do here in terms of the results. 3-1 is a pretty fair outcome from these 2 teams on paper. But it was a really weird series. EnVy's defense was a mess earlier on. I really don't expect that we're going to see that against the top tier competition in NA, though. EnVy will clean up their act. I'm sure of it. This game, they did enough. They did what they were supposed to do. They got the win against V1. But yeah, for V1, a pretty promising performance. Gimmick and Torment really looking good show.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, very easy for this final game to leave a sour taste in your mouth, but what are you going to do? Dominus Turbo. Oh, wait. There you go. Get themselves at least 2. They give it a respectable scoreline on their way out. But it is Team EnVy moving on in the upper bracket. As for V1, they will drop down, have their chance to take on the Peeps. And if the Peeps do end up losing down there, that starts to throw their top 6 spot into question. So V1, in current form, could be very deadly to the Peeps.
Yeah, that's a really big game for major qualification and major seeding. So, you know, a lot on the line there between V1 and the Peeps, and not just for them, but for other teams who are trying to sneak into the top 12 in NA also. So all eyes are going to be on that game. That's a huge draw in the lower bracket, especially this early in the competition. But I do want to clarify, just you know, for anyone who might be confused, the reason I keep saying that, you know, Torment and Gimmick are playing well here for V1 is because it's been a given that Com's going to play well for them for a while now. He has been playing exceptionally, and he's been, I think, the main reason why they've looked so competitive recently. But today it was the whole squad really showing up huge. Torment, he was shooting accurately. Gimmick was playing very consistently in defense, and if V1 can play as a full team to this level, you know, they're not just going to be in the conversation for top 8 in NA anymore. They might even be pushing for that, you know, top 5 if you know, if they can do what they did here consistently. But EnVy, I think they're still top 1.
Well, we are going to get a chance to see later on whether or not they can maintain that against one of the next teams that are coming up on today's show, as Rogue take on G2 Esports in the upper bracket quarterfinals.